Congratulations on completing the lecture part of SC-900 course. Well done. Please pause the video after reading the question if you want to test your knowledge before I reveal the answer. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. So let us look into the question number 1. An organization has deployed Microsoft 365 applications to all employees. Who is responsible for the security of the personal data relating to these employees? The options are the organization, Microsoft, the SaaS provider, or the shared responsibility between your organization and Microsoft. So we are looking at here the responsibility for the personal data relating to these employees. So the correct answer is the organization. In the shared responsibility model, the customer organization always has responsibility for their data, including personal data relating to employees. Let us look into question number 2. Which of the following measures might an organization implement as part of the defense in depth security methodology? I hope you remember we learned about defense in depth on episode number 2 or 3. Let us look into the options. Locating servers at different locations in your organization, multi-factor authentication for all users, ensuring there is no segmentation for your corporate network. The correct answer is multi-factor authentication for all users. Multi-factor authentication is an example of defense in depth at the identity and access layer. Question number 3. The human resources organization want to ensure that stored employee data is encrypted. Which security mechanism would they use? Let's look into the options first. Hashing, digital signing, encryption at rest. The correct answer is encryption at rest. Encryption at rest could be the part of security strategy to protect employee training data. Question number 4. When browsing Microsoft compliance documentation, you have found several documents that are specific to your industry. What is the best way of ensuring you keep up to date with the information they contain? Let's look at the options first. Would you save the documents to your My Library? Or will you print each document so you can easily refer to them? Or download each document? The correct answer is save the document to My Library. By saving the documents to your My Library, you will be prompted to say when you want to be notified of the updates. Let us look into question number 5. A colleague has asked for your help in locating compliance and regulatory information relevant to your industry. You want to provide one link that will provide all the information they might need. Which Microsoft link should you send? The options are Microsoft Privacy Principles, Service Trust Portal, Microsoft Compliance Manager. The correct answer is Microsoft Service Trust Portal. From the Service Trust Portal, there are links to different sites containing compliance and regulatory documentation. Let us look into question number 6. What type of security risk does a phishing scam pose? The options are ethical risk, physical risk, and identity risk. Correct answer is identity risk. A phishing scam is an example of an identity attack. Question number 7. What is a benefit of single sign-on? The options are a central identity provider, which can be used. The user sign in once and then can access many applications or resources, or a password always expire after 72 days. The correct answer is the user signs in once and then can access many applications or resources. With single sign-on, a user sign in once and can then access a number of applications or resources. Question number 8. Which relationship allows federated services to gain access to resources? The options are claimed relationship, shared access relationship, trust relationship. The correct answer is trust relationship. Federated services use a trust relationship to allow access to resources. Question number 9. Authentication is the process of doing what? The options are verifying that a user or device is who they say they are, the process of profiling user behavior, or enabling federated services. The correct answer is verifying that a user or device is who they say they are. Authentication is the process of verifying that a user or device is who they say they are. Let us look into the last question on this episode. Your organization is launching a new app for customers. You want your customers to use a sign in screen that is customized with your brand identity. Which type of Azure external identity authentication solution should you use? Options are Azure AD B2B, Azure AD B2C, Azure AD hybrid identities. The correct answer is Azure AD B2C. Azure AD B2C is an authentication solution for customers that they can customize with their own brand identity. Question number 11. Within your organization, all your users have Microsoft 365 cloud identities. Which identity model should you use? The options are hybrid, cloud only, and on premises only. Since all your users have Microsoft 365 cloud identities, the answer is cloud only. When all your users have cloud identities, you should use the cloud only model. Question number 12. You have developed an app and want users to be able to sign in with their Facebook, Google, or Twitter credentials. What type of authentication will you use? The options are Service Principal Authentication, Azure AD B2C, and User Assigned Identities. The correct answer is Azure AD B2C. Azure AD Business to Customer allows external users to log in with their preferred social media account to sign into your application such as Facebook, Google, or Twitter. Question number 13. After hearing of a security breach at a competitor, you want to improve identity security within your organization. What should you implement immediately to provide the greatest protection to user identities? The options are multi-factor authentication, require biometrics for all sign-in, require strong passwords for all identities. The correct answer is multi-factor authentication or MFA. Multi-factor authentication dramatically improves the security of an identity. Let us look into question number 14. To improve identity security within your organization, you want to implement Windows Hello for Business. When explaining the benefits of Windows Hello for Business to your colleagues, which of the following is true? Let's look at the options. Windows Hello is an authentication feature built into Windows Server 2012 R26. Windows Hello is an alternative to multi-factor authentication. Windows Hello for Business is more secure because it uses pins and biometric data to authenticate users. The correct answer is Windows Hello for Business is more secure because it uses pins and biometric data to authenticate users. And this does not transmit data to an external server. Let us look into question number 15. You have been asked to find ways to reduce IT cost without compromising security. Which feature should you consider implementing? The options are self-service password reset, biometric sign-in on all devices, FIDO 2. The correct answer is self-service password reset. Self-service password reset or SSPR allows users to change or reset their own passwords thereby reducing the cost of providing administrators and help desk personnel. Question number 16. You have been asked to consider the feasibility of implementing conditional access for your organization. What must you do to implement conditional access? Let's look at the options first. Create policies that enforce organizational rules. Check that all users have multi-factor authentication enabled. Amend your apps to allow conditional access. The correct answer is create policies that enforce organizational rules. Conditional access is implemented using policies that enforce organizational rules. Question number 17. Sign-in risk is a signal used by conditional access policies to decide whether to grant or deny access. What is sign-in risk? The options are the probability that the device is owned by the identity owner, the probability that the authentication request is authorized by the identity owner, the probability that the user is authorized to view data from a particular application. The correct answer is the probability that the authentication request is authorized by the identity owner. Question number 18. You have been asked to review Azure AD roles assigned to users to improve organizational security. Which of the following should you implement? The options are remove all global admin roles assigned to users, create custom roles, and replace global admin roles with specific Azure AD roles. The correct answer is replace global admin roles with specific Azure AD roles. By following the least privileged security model and assigning specific admin roles such as billing administrator or user administrator to more users instead of global admin roles, you can improve organizational security. Question number 19. Your organization has recently merged with a competitor, nearly doubling the number of employees. You urgently need to implement an access lifecycle system that won't add a significant amount of work for your IT administrators. Which Azure AD feature should you implement? The options are dynamic groups, conditional access policies, Azure AD terms of use. Correct answer is dynamic groups. Dynamic groups use attribute based rules to determine who is a member of a group, thereby reducing the administrative overhead of adding and removing users. Let's look at the last question on this episode. Question number 20. Your organization is project oriented with employees often working on more than one project at a time. Which solution is best suited to managing user access to your organization's resources? The options are Azure Terms of Use, Dynamic Groups, Entitlement Management. The correct answer is Entitlement Management. Entitlement management is well suited to handling project based access needs. Entitlement management automates access requests, access assignments, reviews, and expiration of bundle of resources relevant to a project. Question number 21. Your organization has recently conducted a security audit and found that 4 people who have left the organization were still active and assigned global admin roles. The users have now been detected, and you have been asked to recommend a solution to prevent a similar security lapse happening in the future. Which solution should you recommend? The options are entitlement management, privileged identity management, and identity protection. The correct answer is privileged identity management. Privileged identity management mitigates the risk of excessive, unnecessary, or misused access permissions. Question number 22. You have recently discovered that several user accounts in the finance department have been compromised. Your CTO has asked for your help in finding a solution to reduce the impact of compromised user accounts. They have asked you to look at three Azure AD features. Which one should you recommend? The options are identity protection, conditional access, entitlement management. The correct answer is identity protection. Identity protection is a tool that allows organizations to utilize security signals to identify potential risk or potential threats. Question number 23. The security admin wants to increase the priority of a network security group. What five sources of information will the admin need to provide? The options are, so I'm not going to read the options. I'm going to tell you what is the correct answer. The correct answer is option 2. The information the admin needs are source, source port, destination, destination port, and protocol. Network layer and target resource are not needed. NSG security rule are evaluated by priority using 5 information points: source, source port, destination, destination port, and protocol to either allow or deny the traffic. Question number 24. The security admin wants to protect Azure resources from DDoS attacks. Which Azure DDoS protection tier will the admin use to target Azure Virtual Network resources? The options are basic, standard, and advanced. The correct answer is standard. The standard service tier provides additional mitigation capabilities that are tuned specifically to Microsoft Azure Virtual Network resources. Question number 25. Your organization has several virtual machines in Azure. The security admin wants to deploy Azure Bastion to get secure access to the virtual machines in Azure. What should the admin keep in mind? The options are Azure Bastion is deployed per virtual network, or deployed per subscription, or deployed per virtual machine. The correct answer is Azure Bastion is deployed per virtual network. Azure Bastion deployment is per virtual network, not per subscription or account or virtual network or virtual machine. Question number 26. Much of your organization's application data is in Azure. The security admin wants to take advantage of the encryption capabilities in Azure. Which service would the admin use to store the application's secrets? The options are transparent data encryption, secrets management, Azure Key Vault. The correct answer is Azure Key Vault. Azure Key Vault is a centralized cloud service for storing your application secrets. Question number 27. An organization is using Azure and wants to improve their security best practices. Which Azure specific benchmark would the IT security team need to consider? The options are Azure Security Benchmark, Center for Internet Security, Microsoft Cybersecurity Group. The correct answer is Azure Security Benchmark. The Azure Security Benchmark provides prescriptive best practices and recommendation to help improve the security of workloads, data, and services on Azure. Question number 28. Your organization is using Security Center to assess your resources, subscriptions, and organization for security issues. Your organization's overall secure score is low and needs to be improved. How would a security admin go about improving the score? The options are close old security recommendations, remediate security recommendations, move security recommendation to resolved. The correct answer is remediate security recommendations. To improve your secure score, remediate security recommendations from your recommendations list. Question number 29. An organization needs to continuously monitor the security status of its network. What security center tool would you use? The options are continuous assessment, network map, and network assessment. The correct answer is network map. The network map provides a map of the topology of your network workloads, which lets you block unwanted connections. Let us look into the last question on this episode. Question number 30. As the lead admin, it is important to convince your team to start using Azure Sentinel. You have put together a presentation. What are the four security operation areas of Azure Sentinel that cover this area? Options are collect, detect, investigate, and redirect. Collect, detect, investigate, and respond. Collect, detect, investigate, and repair. The correct answer is collect, detect, investigate, and respond, not redirect or repair. A SIM or SOAR solution uses collect, detect, investigate, and respond to identify and protect your organization's network perimeter. Question number 31. Your estate has many different data sources where data is stored. Which tool should be used with Azure Sentinel to quickly gain insights across your data as soon as data source is connected? The options are Azure Monitor Workbooks, Playbooks, Microsoft 365 Defender. The correct answer is Azure Monitor Workbooks. Using Azure Sentinel integration with Azure Monitor Workbooks allows you to monitor data and provides versatility in creating custom workbooks. Question number 32. A lead admin for an organization is looking to protect against malicious threats posted by email messages, links, and collaboration tools. The options are Microsoft Defender for Office 365, Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, Microsoft Defender for Identity. The correct answer is Microsoft Defender for Office 365. Microsoft Defender for Office 365 safeguards your organization against malicious threats posted by email messages, links, and collaboration tools, including Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online, OneDrive for Business, and other Office clients. Question number 33. As the admin for team, you are required to provide a short presentation on the use and benefit of Microsoft Cloud App Security to your team. Which of the four MCAS pillars is responsible for identifying and controlling sensitive information? The options are threat protection, compliance, and data security. The correct answer is data security. Through the data security pillar, you can identify and control sensitive information and respond to classification labels on content. Question number 34. Admins in the organization are using the Microsoft 365 Security Center on a daily basis. They want to quickly get an understanding of your organization's current security posture. Which section in the Microsoft 365 Security Center will they use? The options are Reports, Secure Score, Policies. The correct answer is Secure Score. Secure Score in the Microsoft 365 Security Center will give you a snapshot of your organization's security posture and provide you with details on how to improve it. Question number 35. Which of the following describes what an admin would need to select to view security cards grouped by risk, detection trends, configuration, health, and more? Options are group by topic, group by risk, group by category. The correct answer is group by topic. You would use this filter to view security cards grouped by risk, detection trends, configuration, health, and more. Question number 36. An admin wants to get a comprehensive view of an attack, including where the attack started and how far the attack has gone in the network. What can the admin use to view this type of information? Options are alerts, reports, incidents. Correct answer is incidents. An incident is a collection of correlated alerts that make up the story of an attack. Question number 37. Employees are allowed to bring and use their cell phones at work. The employees don't want their phone to be under full corporate control, but admins want to allow users to read emails and use Teams while protecting corporate data. Which of the following will allow admins to accomplish these goals? Options are mobile application management, known as MAM, mobile device management, known as MDM, role based access control, or RBAC. Correct answer is mobile application management, or MAM. This service will allow you to manage apps on your employees' mobile devices without needing full control. Question number 38. An organization uses different types of devices, including Windows, iOS, and Android devices. Admins for that organization have created a security baseline profile in Intune that they want to apply across the devices. To which devices can the security baseline profile be applied? Options are Android devices, iOS devices, Windows devices. The correct answer is Windows devices. Security baseline settings are used only on devices running Windows 10 version 1809 or later. Question number 39. A new admin has joined the team and needs to be able to access the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center. Which of the following roles could the admin use to access the Compliance Center? The options are Compliance Administrator role, Help Desk Administrator role, User Administrator role. The correct answer is Compliance Administrator role. This is one of the multiple roles you can use to access the Compliance Center. Last question on this episode. Question number 40. Your new colleagues on the admin team are unfamiliar with the concept of shared controls in Compliance Manager. How would the concept of shared controls be explained? Okay, options are controls that both external regulators and Microsoft share responsibilities for implementing. Controls that both your organization and external regulators share responsibility for implementing. Controls that both your organization and Microsoft share responsibility for implementing. Correct answer is controls that both your organization and Microsoft share responsibility for implementing. Both your organization and Microsoft work together to implement these controls. Question number 41. Which part of the concept of know your data, protect your data, and prevent data loss addresses the need for organizations to automatically retain, delete, store data and records in a compliant manner? The options are know your data, prevent your data, govern your data. The correct answer is govern your data. Capabilities like retention policies, retention labels, and records management enable organizations to govern their data. Question number 42. As part of a new data loss prevention policy, the compliance admin needs to be able to identify important information such as credit card numbers across the organization's data. How can the admin addresses this requirement? The options are use Activity Explorer, use sensitivity labels, use sensitive information types. The correct answer is use sensitive information types. Microsoft provides built-in sensitive information types that you can use to identify data such as credit card numbers. Question number 43. Within the organization, some emails are confidential and shouldn't be encrypted so that only authorized users can read them. How can this requirement be implemented? The options are use Content Explorer, use sensitive labels, use records management. The correct answer is use sensitivity labels. Sensitivity labels helps ensure that emails can only be decrypted only by users authorized by the label's encryption settings. The options are use Content Explorer, use sensitivity labels, use records management. The correct answer is use sensitivity labels. Sensitivity labels help ensure that emails can only be decrypted only by users authorized by the label's encryption settings. Question number 44. Your organization uses Microsoft Teams to collaborate on all projects. The compliance admin wants to prevent users from accidentally sharing sensitive information in a Microsoft Teams chat session. What capability can address this requirement? The options are use data loss prevention policies, use records management capabilities, use retention policies. The correct answer is use data loss prevention policies. With data loss prevention policies, administrators can now define policies that can prevent users from sharing sensitive information in a Microsoft Teams chat session or Teams channel, whether this information is a message or in a file. Question number 45. Due to a certain regulation, your organization must now keep hold of all documents in a specific SharePoint site that contains customer information for 5 years. How can this requirement be implemented? Options are use sensitivity labels, use the Content Explorer, use retention policies. The correct answer is use retention policies. You can use retention policies to define data retention for all documents in a SharePoint site. Question number 46. To comply with corporate policies, the compliance admin needs to be able to identify and scan for offensive language across the organization. What solution can the admin implement to address this need? Options are use policy compliance in Microsoft 365, use communication compliance, use information barriers. The correct answer is use communication compliance. Communication compliance helps minimize communication risk by enabling you to detect, capture, and take remediation actions for inappropriate messages in the organization. Question number 47. An organization has many departments that collaborate through Microsoft Teams. To comply with business policies, the IT organization needs to make sure that users from one particular department are limited in their access and interactions with other departments. What solution can address this need? The options are use communication compliance, use customer logbox, use information barriers. The correct answer is use information barriers. With information barriers, you are able to restrict communications among specific groups of users when necessary. Question number 48. The compliance team wants to control the use privileged admin accounts with standing access to sensitive data so that admins receive only the level of access they need when they need it. How can this requirement be implemented? Options are use communication compliance, use privileged access management, use the audit log. The correct answer is use privileged access management. You can use privileged access management to require users to request just-in-time access to complete certain tasks. Question number 49. A customer has identified an issue that requires a Microsoft engineer to access the organization's content to determine the root cause and fix the issue. To protect the organization, the engineer shouldn't be able to access content and perform service operations without explicit approval. What capability can address this requirement? The options are use privileged access management, use information barriers, use customer lockbox. The correct answer is use customer lockbox. Customer lockbox brings your organization into approval workflow. The engineer will ask for access and will only have access for the stated duration they have requested for. Let us look into the last question. Question number 50. A new admin has joined the compliance team and needs access to the core e-discovery to be able to add and remove members, create and edit searches, and export content from a case. To which role should the admin be assigned? Options are add them as a member of the e-discovery manager role group, add them as a member of the e-discovery review role, add them as a member of the e-discovery custodian role. The correct answer is add them as the member of the e-discovery manager role group. Members of this role group can create and manage core e-discovery cases. They can also add and remove members, place an e-discovery hold on users, create and edit searches, and export content from a core e-discovery case. Thank you so much for your time and patience to go through this content. All the very best for your examination.